Chris Fehn, der Percussionist von Slipknot, sitzt neben mir. Wir sind jetzt gerade in Düsseldorf in der Philipshalle. Die Band ist auf Tour im Moment mit Machine Head und mit Children of Bodom. Chris, this is the first time I see you with a mask. And is this the mask you are wearing for years now, or did you ever change the mask?
Well, it's the same look, but it's a different mask because the other ones, they just fall apart after, you know, each record cycle. So we have to get them remade, and, you know, but I keep this general style the same.
Yeah. So where does the design of the mask come from? I read a lot of interpretations. There was some like Pinocchio story, or that it reminded of a phallus symbol. So what's the story of this mask?
Well, this mask, when I got in the band, was already made for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't make it. So I don't know where it came from, but I made it who I am today.
Yeah. But isn't this it's gummy? I think it's some gummy stuff, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's gross.
When I did an interview like half a year ago, I talked to Jim Root, and that was just before the record All Hope Is Gone was released. And he told me that after a long break for Slipknot, it was kind of a tough situation for the band to come together again, because everybody did his own thing. And so how did this situation develop?
Just getting all of us in the same room is where you got to start, you know. Mm-hmm. And once we all get together and we feel like, you know, that we're here to be in Slipknot, you know, mm-hmm. it's just go time at that point, you know. But getting all of us in one room is a nightmare enough, you know, even on the road, you know, to have all of us try and get in the same room is tough. But once we get together, you know, we're ready to go. You know, we're professionals, and you know, we understand what we have to do.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned that there's even a discussion that you were thinking about if you would continue with this band or maybe break up after this record cycle. Is this still a discussion?
No, it never is. I mean, you know, all of us want to quit at some moment during the day, you know, mm-hmm. and just be home or whatever. But we know how important we are to the world and to our fans, so we're just not going to stop.
So what do you think is today still, what makes the difference between Slipknot being on the stage and other very energetic bands being on the stage?
I think Slipknot's its own anomaly. You know, it's its own planet. And I think other bands, you know, they do their thing, but I think the Slipknot thing will always be unique and uncopyable as far as the music world goes.
Are there stories you have in your memory that you would tell your children or children's children from being on the road, like a very nice meeting with a fan or a story a fan told you, like a moment that really touched you that you could pick?
Yeah, I remember we did an in-store in Poland. I think it was during the Iowa record. And this little kid came up, and I swear he was probably 5 years old, you know, and he had made each of us out of paper and, you know, tape and paper, and like kind of drew on each one of our faces. And he didn't want our autograph. He didn't want a picture with us. He wanted to give us each what he made. And it just fucking broke my heart, man, you know. And but I'll never forget that till the day I die, you know, and I still have it sitting in my house.
And are there people that don't want to watch you without a mask, that say, I don't want to see what you look like without a mask, because then the myth, the fantasy thing is gone?
I think I would be that way. You know, if I was a fan, you know, I wouldn't want to see it either. It's like, I didn't care about seeing, like, Kiss without their stuff. Like, I didn't, like, search for pictures or, you know, anything like that, because, you know, those guys are my heroes too, you know, and I want to keep it that way. Just like you said, like in my mind and in my, you know, fantasy of what all of that is, you know.
When I did this interview with Jim Root, he also said that there are moments where he feels kind of weird when I think he's in the middle of the 30s, standing with a mask on a stage, jumping around. Do you have the same feelings that sometimes you're like, man, I'm not 15 anymore, why am I doing this?
No, I still feel like I'm 15, you know, because music has touched me in a way to where I never grew up. You know, I'm a complete immature idiot, you know, and I don't care, because music is what keeps me alive, you know, and I suppose one day when that shuts off, I'll be like, oh my God, like, I'm a grown up. Like, I got to start doing grown up things. But right now, I just don't care, man, because I'm on tour with the best band in the world.
And before you walk on stage, do you have kind of a ritual, something you stand together, or some
Yeah.
shaking hands?
Well, yeah,
like
we have a private huddle that, you know, that we all get in, and Corey says a few words, and, you know, it'll be fuck Duesseldorf, and we're out.
Okay. Do you already know how you will celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, it's been the same since I was a little kid, you know, go to grandma's house and eat my ass off and fall asleep on the couch while you know, while everybody else, you know, just does whatever and talks, you know.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks.